listening to the Moist Boys Podcast.
What's up, everybody? Thank you for listening to the Moist Boys Podcast. No matter what anybody says, you are our fireworks. My name is Josh.
My name is Jonathan. And Heather is still...
I'm sorry. I was stuck. And I'm the best bro, Heather.
And today we are talking about...
I was going to sing a song and then I realized it's probably very copyrighted and I should definitely not do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, if she'll sue us.
Just remember, you'll always be our teenage dreams.
Oh, Jesus.
We'll always be your California girls.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I might be the dark horse in this situation, but we're going to see how it all plays out.
Well, I'm definitely the extraterrestrial.
Oh, yeah. There we go.
Mm-hmm. And I have kissed a girl and I did like it, so.
From the top. All right, here we go.
And scene. But yeah, today we're talking about the 2017 remake of the 1995 film Fireworks.
I'm sorry. Wait a minute. What?
You can't just drop that on us in the middle of this.
That's what you were sitting over there going, interesting about, isn't it?
Yeah, to be fair, it's the beginning, not the middle, so.
Fuck my life.
At least you didn't get to the end of it and then we're like, cool, thanks for joining us for this review of the remake of a movie. What the hell?
Off, a 2017 remake, which I definitely didn't realize this was 3 years old.
Yeah.
Oof.
Yeah.
And secondly, yeah, a remake, huh?
Yep, based on a movie from 1995 or a short film. It's 45 minutes long.
Live action or?
Looks like it. There's not a lot of images from the film. So
that's interesting.
Not
That is
trivia.
actually interesting. Lovely trivia for us.
I only found that out because I looked at the screenplay credits and it said based on a teleplay from 1993 by Shunji Iwai.
Huh. So the original was 45 minutes long?
Yeah.
And they decided to make this an hour and a half, even though they only had that much material?
I mean...
Maybe.
I'm not going to lie. There are things that I liked about this movie, and there are things that I disliked about this movie.
So it's like every other movie then?
So like with every other movie, yeah. So I can say it is definitively a movie.
It is that. This is, I do believe, at least the first non-Studio Ghibli anime film I've sat all the way through. Maybe.
Does that mean you watched this before Weathering with You then? Because we literally reviewed that last week.
Yeah.
Okay.
I saw this was in our 2018 recap episode. I talked about it.
Oh.
It was a Fathom event that I went and saw in 2018.
Okay.
So I was like, you know what? We're going to talk about this one. I'm not going to have seen it for nothing. So now we've all seen it.
Now here we are.
I will say it's on Netflix, so go watch it because we're not gonna recap it here.
Yeah.
That's not the interesting thing to talk about. But just to start off, I just want us to all agree that fireworks are in fact flat.
Fuck out of here.
God damn you.
I like how that's like an argument through the entire movie where everyone's like, is it? Like nobody knows. Nobody takes a moment to think about it. They're all just like, no, it's definitely flat.
No,
Yeah.
At one point, one definitely does think about it and is just like, oh yeah, it's physics. Why didn't you say that?
Yeah.
Oh, everybody was yelling. I forgot. Which is a full mood. Thank you very much.
Yeah. I think this movie does some interesting things with the idea of time travel / alternate universe
/ maybe
/ also probably all in his head the entire time.
Maybe. See, this is so strap in, folks.
It's fucking weird.
So I guess that's as the audience, you kind of get to decide, did it happen? Did it not happen? The movie is like purposefully vague. And I think sometimes that can really work Sometimes it really does not work. Let's discuss whether or not it worked.
Some things that didn't work. Musical numbers.
Yeah, maybe don't repeat the same musical number twice.
Thank God they didn't
Do the whole thing.
air quotes animate it the second time though.
Yeah. I did.
Also, I'm sorry though, I kind of liked the musical numbers mainly because my 4-year-old was sitting on my lap and singing them for me the entire time.
Yeah.
Had no idea what the words were, had no idea what the melody was, still was singing along to the music.
That was pretty great.
That was the highlight.
That was
Yeah. I do like when we go to Barbie's Dreamland Castle in the middle of the.
It was, I'm sorry. So somebody watched this movie and was like, watched a movie and was like, you know what I really fucking love about the labyrinth? That scene in the glass bulb that she goes through. Yeah, let's do that. Let's put that in an animated movie.
So one of the things that did not work for me in this movie frequently was the animation.
Oh, you mean like when they literally stopped animating when they were on the train and just had them on sticks hopping along?
Oh my God, there are way too many times. Like the first time Kid Who Shall Remain Nameless, because I don't care. Main kid and his friends are like getting on their bikes and their skateboards at the beginning of the movie.
Okay. First off, I did care about their names. I can read if I saw their names, I could tell you that was which kid that name belonged to. But fuck trying to pronounce those names. Like, I'm very sorry. I love the Japanese language, and I just noped right out of being able to process how to say the letters I was seeing did not match the sounds coming out of people's
they did
mouths, animated mouths. Yeah.
Animated mouths.
Yes, Japanese people do have mouths.
Yeah.
God, shut up.
Despite popular belief. I mean, they did. It was just one of those things where as soon as I knew what the main characters' names were, I just resigned myself to I'm just not going to be able to remember those and say those later. I'm sure if I looked it up, I could be like, oh yeah, that was their names. I want to say one of them, I want to say the main friend rival was either Junichi or Yuichi.
Yuichi.
Was it Yuichi?
Yeah.
Okay. So I remember that kid's name.
So that's his best friend who's crushing on the same girl.
Isn't that Yusuke?
Junichi. What? Uzuke?
Yeah.
Wait.
Yeah, because Junichi is the tall one who's in love with the teacher and then he's not? I don't know.
Was that Junichi?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Okay. Yusuke. Yusuke is his best friend.
Yusuke is his best friend.
That was the one. Okay, yep, that was the one. Yeah, Norimichi is the main character. Nazuna is the other main character.
Yeah, I got Zuna every time, and I was like, what? Okay, she's just going to be Zuna now.
That's Nazuna.
Nazuna.
Yeah, I lied. I'm looking up the names now so I can say that properly.
How do you say his name?
Whose?
Normichi?
Norimichi?
Norimichi? Okay.
Yeah.
I was like, I got the Michi and I got the Zuna, but that was it.
Just Michi and Zuna.
Yeah.
Michi-Zuna.
Michi-chan? Zuna-chan?
Michi-kun? Norimichi-kun?
Michi-kun? Zuna-chan?
Fuck, I lost my train of thought there. God damn. Speaking of trains of thought, God, that fucking train when they're on the water.
That's what I'm saying.
Yes, sorry, I got myself back to there. But, so this movie way too often.
You mean when they were using the little stick puppets?
Well, the movie has an issue. So at the beginning of the movie, when they're on their bikes and they're going through town, and it immediately like that becomes the 3D animation, I was like, oh, I don't like that. And then the more they used it, the more I was just like, oh, I don't like that.
So I also noticed something, and maybe it was just, I don't know if it was a conscious decision, but as he slips farther and farther into the what ifs, and he hops multiple realities or whatever he's doing, the rougher the animation actually is.
That I really liked.
I did too. Okay. So I was like, I think that was on purpose. So like the little stick figure thing happening on the train.
The PS2 cutscene.
Yes. I'm pretty sure that was intentional because I'm pretty sure it was meant to look jaggedy and not right because we're slipping through realities. And by the
that
time
wasn't a thing. Like if they had committed to it and gone full 3D animation for that entire sequence after they're in that world,
yeah,
I would agree with that. But like there are so many things where it just seems like shortcuts were made in this movie.
yeah.
That feels like one of them to me, to just have an entire scene,
Stick puppet.
this little weird little stick puppets that
She walks all the way, and then he
walks all the way to the front of the train, and it's very much just like, oh, I feel like I've played a video game that has this exact same sort of like pacing to its thing, where you're just seeing a side-scrolling object and characters moving, and I was waiting for the like speech bubbles to pop up so I could choose my own adventure in the middle of this, and then just going to like the shots from inside the train where you're looking out the front of the train and you can't see a track at all. To me, it didn't seem like it was supposed to be that much in the fantasy. Like the world was distorted around them, but it just seemed like they were just not doing things just because they could not do things. And what are the nerds going to complain about it? What are they going to do? I don't know. There were things that frequently kind of took me out of it, but once it was them on the train station and he goes and actually pulls her away from her mom and stepdad and like gets her on the train. Like once that was all very like Take On Me pencil-y-ish, like I started realizing like, oh, okay, the world's getting more and more distorted. I like this. I just feel like they didn't fully
commit to it
or nail it.
Yeah, there were parts of it that were very nailed, and there were parts, you're right, that felt very shortcutty, and I was like, I could have done that better.
Yeah.
Also,
so tell us why you loved this movie, Josh.
Nice reference. I didn't hate this movie, so just so we're all clear.
I like the 3D animation things in relation to the lighthouse and the little magical ball thing. That made sense.
Question: what did the coils inside of the ball always say if, or was that only like the third or fourth time?
It was from the first time at least.
It said the first time.
Okay, I didn't realize it the first time. It was like literally the third time he threw it that it lit up and just like zoomed in on it and said if, and I was like, oh, that's kind of fucking stupid. I'm not gonna lie.
What?
I'm sorry.
What?
I didn't really like that.
Oh, well,
I thought that was a little on the nose.
I'm sorry. Then go sit in the living room, you fucker, because that was cool. I thought it was great. I think I felt because it took you till the third time to see it. Like it's just meant to be like a little Easter eggy thing. It's not meant to be the thing you're staring at the whole time.
Yeah.
I thought it was cool. Whatever.
I was fine with it.
Yeah.
It's weird that it's in English, but you know.
Yeah, I guess that's kind of my. Yeah, you can roll your eyes. I mean, that's fine. I'm allowed to have opinions. That's why I'm on a podcast.
They suck, so that's fine.
Yeah, I'm allowed to be wrong. I'm a white man, goddammit.
You're allowed to sleep on the couch too, aren't you?
I liked when all the friends were arguing. That was good stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, I liked their dynamic.
Yeah.
I disliked their dynamic when they were just like talking about 15-year-old boobs, but
to be fair, they're 15.
Not because they're 15.
I mean, yeah, it checks out. It just
I thought it was hilarious because I was like, this is very teenager-esque. Like, let's talk about our teacher's giant tits. Yep, that's cool. Let's talk about whether our teacher has a boyfriend. Yep, that's pretty standard.
Yeah.
Let's talk about girls. Yeah, that's
what teenagers do.
Let's talk about dropping off some cool kids at the pool.
Okay, so I had a moment where, like, because he had mentioned, like, ooh, after a sight like that, got to go drop the kids off at the pool. I was like, okay, I know that dropping the kids off at the pool is a pooping thing, but did he mean dropping literal kids in the pool after seeing her in her bathing suit?
Oh, maybe. But then he says later on.
But then later on, he's like, I really got to poop. And I was like, oh, okay, he did have to poop.
And
so
he does say it's during the original timeline that it was just a false alarm.
Yeah, yeah.
So I don't think.
So, yeah, up until the point where he came back was like, false alarm. And I was like, is he just going to go do some Meat Beat Mania right now? Like,
also, I was really confused at first on whether or not he actually did like her. Because, like,
Yeah.
it seems like he's trying to hook his best buddy up with her.
It does.
Like, when he sits down and he's, like, notices his friend's looking at her and his friend's, like, trying to play it cool. And he's like, she's pretty cute, right? I definitely thought he was going to be like, you should talk to her. Like, you got this, buddy, which he does. And he continues to act that way. And I thought, like, quotations dropping kids off at the pool was, like, code for, I'm going to go
leave you alone.
I'm going to go be somewhere else so you can do your thing, buddy.
No.
But then also going and dropping
asshole.
the kids off at the pool so he could leave the other guy alone with the girl he actually does like.
And then it turns out he actually,
and
even
then he gets
when,
pissed. He's like, why are you muscling in on my girl, you piece of shit?
Like, at first, when he's the one who gets asked out, he acts the same way that, like, you expect the best friend who just got asked out by the girl his best friend's into. And he's like, oh, fuck, now I got to tell him. This isn't cool. Like, he ditches her. He's the one who comes up with, let's go to the lighthouse. Let's go, like, not be around here so I don't have to go on a date with this girl.
Yeah.
It still seemed very much like he was just trying to hook his best buddy up.
Especially sending him to his dad's medical practice where he knew she would be.
Yeah, like, I definitely thought that. So that's my next thing then is, like, did that, when he went into the next timeline, did that flip because it was all in his head that his best friend was actually also in love with this girl? Like, was his best friend actually into this girl, or did he invent that into the next timeline?
Yeah. I don't know.
Because his friend showed no signs of it until, and even in the first, hello, Blue. Even in the first timeline, even when he found his friend and he punched him a bunch in the face for no apparent reason-ish, his buddy didn't act like he was super into her.
Yeah.
It wasn't until
he was actively just like, oh yeah, I wasn't going to go out with that dumb piece of shit.
Yeah.
Like,
it wasn't until the next timeline that it suddenly he was into her.
Like, that's my girl, you piece of shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think it's something he invented into the made up world.
Yeah.
But also, was it real the whole time?
No, it was in his head the whole time.
It was in his head the whole time?
I don't know.
Even the ending part where he disappeared from existence? Spoilers?
Spoiler alert.
Or was he just taking a day off?
Or did he go and drown in the ocean?
Probably that one, honestly.
I mean, there's no reason he would have. He was literally standing like ankle height in the water.
Or did they actually run away together?
Maybe they actually ran away together. I think that's, again, supposed to be like the whole, like, it's open-ended. You can make the ending whatever you want.
I'm sorry. I'm just going to tell people right now, I hate open endings most of the time.
Mm-hmm.
Like 85% of the time, I hate open endings. I think Inception was the first one that I was like, I can handle that.
That's fair. That's a real good one, though.
That's a real good one.
We should probably watch either Paprika, I think, is the one that one is influenced by, which is a Satoshi Kon film.
Who also did
but I particularly
who also did one that we'll talk about later.
Don't love open ends because it's not that I don't have enough of an imagination to come up with endings, because I do, and I'll talk about all of the different endings that could happen right now with you guys. I mean, we just talked about it before.
We just did it.
It's not that. It's just that I like a beginning, a middle, and an end. I want an end to my story. I get invested in characters. Even I watch shitty movies. I am been very clearly honest about this. I watch very, very D-list level crappy rom-coms, and I still get invested in that shit and will still cry at the moments they're trying to get you to cry at.
Yeah.
And I will cry at moments they don't mean for you to cry at because it's just so bad that I have to cry or laugh. But I get invested. So to have something not give me an ending, it's just kind of like, that fucking sucks.
Kind of feels like lazy storytelling.
It feels like it feels like a non-committal ending. Like you didn't want to piss you didn't want to irritate half the fan base, so you irritated everybody by not giving anybody an end.
Well, especially in a situation like if a movie is really upfront about it, that nothing is really what it seems, and so by the time you get to the ending and you land on that and just like, oh, okay, I see what they were doing, as opposed to this movie where it just is the timeline's playing out, and then we introduce the magical time machine ball / alternate universe ball.
Yeah, what was that thing?
It was the if ball.
The ish ball.
What?
The ish ball.
The ish ball? The wish ball? The if wish ball? But then at the end of it, you're just
the magic
like,
marble.
Yeah, the magic marble. If you get to the end of that and you're just like, did any of it happen? Was it all in his head? Fuck you. It kind of, it doesn't.
I kind of wish that they had committed. Yeah, I would have. I personally, if I was not the lazy storyteller who didn't give an ending, I would go with it was all in his head and have him be staring out the window when his name got called and be like, oh.
See, I am much more into the sci-fi aspect of it, where I would have really liked it to have actually have all happened, and the world, the glass melting at the end of it, basically created when they all snapped back to the real world, but they all snapped back to that world with the knowledge of all the possibilities that would have happened from those other timelines. Which is kind of what they were being shown at the end there too.
Yikes.
So sorry.
What just happened?
My phone decided we needed a musical segue.
Yeah, okay. But yeah, I would have liked not necessarily like a definitive, like, yes, it was all real, but a little bit more leaning in that direction, I guess.
I think they're still trapped in the ball. That's my theory.
They're trapped in the ball?
Yeah. Because like at the end, like it's shown that like everything's starting to, like there's all like the giant glass plates around everything, and they're like wandering around inside of a glass. Everything's kind of turning to weird. And then the glass or the ball goes up in the air. So I think they're inside of a ball.
But the ball shatters, though.
I would like to believe they now are living in the drunk firework technicians world.
Where there's no kids. Where it's just teachers calling out names for children. Well, because the ball also gets like 100 times larger right at the end, too.
Yeah.
Because it's like a marble size the whole time. And at the end, he like has to pick it up with both hands to put it in his little mortar launcher.
So the more it gets, I would say the more it gets used, the bigger it gets, but they don't show that.
It's just literally that one scene.
It's that one scene. So that would have been an interesting thing to have, like, the world growing. I don't know. This is a weird one for me. I know as the resident weeb, I should be the one who's like, it was so amazing. Oh my God, all of it. But like so much of it just looked like shit to me that I'm kind of having trouble with this one. But at the same time, like again, there were things that I enjoyed about it.
Let's list some of those things.
Let's list some of those things. I liked. I mean, like we talked about the animation differences once you got like a few worlds deep. I thought that was really cool. I liked the dynamic between all of the friends, smart friend, tiny friend, tall friend, and
best friend.
Yeah. Those were all good. They were all good guys.
They were all 15-year-olds.
They were all 15-year-olds.
Yeah.
They're all bros. They're just hanging out.
Once they got through the alphabet, they were fine.
Yeah. Yeah. 15-year-olds love boobs.
15-year-olds are assholes and not assholes all at the same time.
Like, yeah. They can be as wholesome as fuck and then as cringy and...
Yeah. Especially when you get them in a group.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. I liked the... Somebody say something they liked about this movie. Give me a minute to think.
Wow, rude. You can't think of anything you like?
Wow.
No, I mean, I already did. I'm trying to think of other things. Like,
well, I thought it was wholesome as fuck. I thought even with like not knowing what really happened, I really liked the storyline. I thought it was sweet. I definitely thought something icky was going to be happening with the new stepdad, and I'm very happy that that's not what
Not where they went.
turned
Yeah.
out to be. Yeah, I thought it was cutesy. I liked the cutesy part.
So I've seen this a couple times now in anime. I don't know if it's just an anime thing or if it's like a real thing that happens, but maybe there's a series that this happens in that we might be discussing at some point in the future. That's definitely more problematic than this one, where a mother character decides to go and get engaged to somebody that the child character has never met before.
Oh, we're definitely talking about that show.
Okay, so it doesn't seem like she had never met him before. It seems, I think she was just mad because they're forcing her to move.
Yeah, I think
She just doesn't like this dude. Like,
she just doesn't like this dude because of what he represents.
yeah, he represents the
change.
that represents the fact that her mom moved on from her dad already.
Yeah.
Even though it's been just over a year.
Yeah.
Which, yikes. Two, it represent yikes is like, I don't know.
As we've learned, 14 years is the minimum that you pine over someone.
Oh, God, no.
Go listen to his Dork Materials latest episode if you want to know what that reference is to episode 7 of Picard.
Yeah.
And some people do move on within that first year, and that's fine. And that,
Mama's got needs.
heal at your own rate, but
So
her dad disappeared is what she said, but
we see his dead body, right?
Yeah. And he's holding the marble.
And he's holding the if ball.
The if ball. The if wish ball.
The if wish ball.
The wish if ball. The ish ball.
The whiff ball.
I keep saying ish ball because it sounds like Ishmael, and I want you to catch on to it. That's fine.
They call me Ish Ball.
I just call it the if ball because it makes it sound like a kind of Pokeball.
Ooh.
Don't know if it's going to catch the Pokemon or not. If
that's every Pokeball.
Yeah.
That's not
just
true.
a regular
the Master Ball will catch any Pokemon.
That's true.
Yeah.
It's more like you throw the Pokeball and when you open it up, it could be the one that you caught or it could be a different one.
Ooh, that sounds really cool.
Yeah.
Ooh, a 50-50 ball where you catch 2 Pokemon in it, and it's a 50-50 on which one's coming out.
That would be a weird dynamic.
Especially since one would probably be like a fucking Magikarp.
Yeah. Screwed. And show up to the Elite Four. Go, Charizard. Fuck, it's Magikarp. That's neither here nor there.
That's way over there,
That's
in fact.
way over there, in fact.
Wow, it's so far over there. I can't even see it anymore.
I know. Is it round? Is it flat?
Like fireworks.
Like fireworks.
Anyway, so I was saying that she represents the fact that mom moved on from dad, which is rough because she's 15 and she lost her dad a year ago, and losing your dad at any age sucks. So
yeah,
definitely losing your dad at 14 would be fracking hard, especially to watch your mom move on, and then to have the new guy not only starting to take the place of your dad, but then tell you you're going to need to move away from your entire life.
Yeah.
Oof.
Oof.
Oof. There's another question I had, but now another topic that I was going to bring up, but now it's entirely lost from my brain, so I shan't be bringing that up now. It's good audio content. Check time code real quick.
Well, that looks like time to wrap it up. Again, so this is another thing with all of these movies that we're going to be talking about this month. I know I went into it completely blind. Did you have any idea of what you were going to go see the first time you went and saw it?
No, not at all.
Rad.
Like I was like, hey, there's an anime movie. I've never like purposely seen an anime. It's in theaters. Might as well go check it out. And I was like, hey, that was a movie. Well, bye. Bye, movie. I waved
movie.
as I walked out of the theaters. Everybody looked at me funny, but
Yeah. Like, why is
Mama
why is
don't
that guy?
care.
Yeah.
So that musical number, huh?
Ah!
Oh, God.
No, we're not going back to it.
No, let's fucking really unpack
No, we're good. No.
how terrible that was.
No.
Fucking
real bad.
Cupcake Mountain looking
I was
castle.
like, I really liked that when Bennett saw the like Barbie Dreamhouse Cupcake Mountain thing. He was like, presents? I was like, they kind of look like presents, buddy. Yeah.
It also looks like a goddamn nightmare.
It was like I don't know. It's like somebody was imagining what temples look like in Russia and then halfway through forgot what they were doing and just kept building things.
Yeah.
Well, I assume they're made out of glass because they're inside the glass ball or some
They
bullshit.
also, when they were
Probably.
on the beach and they could see the other cities, did you see that that's what was off in the distance?
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
It looked bad the second time too. I'm not gonna lie.
I mean, it looked fine when they were like far away and they were literally just
No.
made out of lights like that.
No.
I mean, it looked
No.
better than the fully fucking rendered shitstorm. I'm glad that once he throws the ball the first time and we go back to them at the pool and it all plays out and then they go into the classroom that all plays out the same way. I was really interested how much they were going to just replay the same thing.
Yeah.
And I really had a worry that it was going to be like a lot.
Because that's usually what happens when people just want to write 30 pages for a script.
Yeah.
They're like, well, it's going to repeat these 30 pages over and over again. One of the characters will be different, but everyone is going to be exactly the same. And like by the second time, you're like, okay,
We
new
get it.
movie,
This is
please.
yeah. So I'm glad they only really did it the first time, and then any time after that, it kept going. It kept going back shorter and shorter distances of time that he had to redo.
Yeah. Because it's not like Groundhog Day where he's
reliving the same.
wakes
day
up
over
at
and
the
over.
same time. It's the same
Yeah.
exact thing. This is is thinking about a particular point in time.
It's like I
And
need
that's
to
where he
redo
goes
this point in time. I
Yeah.
need to change that.
And since he's 15, the thing to do is to start the day over again. And but since he's 15, he's like, if I did this one thing differently,
Yeah.
everything would have been fine.
Yeah, and that I think is very much just like you sweet summer child. There is another anime, the name of which I cannot remember off the top of my head, where they do, from reviews that I've read and things like that, there is literally I think possibly 4 to 8 episode arc where people are trapped in the same day and they literally just play the same episode essentially 8 times.
No, thank you.
No, thank you. So I'm glad that like this didn't just go full balls to the wall in that route.
Yeah. So I remembered the thing I was going to talk about, and in American media, there's a thing called the Manic Pixie Dream Girl. You have this character that's like always happy and never has any problems and exists to fix the main character's life. Usually it's a boring white guy.
Usually.
But I feel like in anime, they have like the inverse, the sad anime girl.
She is only contextually sad though. Like she's only
Yeah.
sad when her mom is literally dragging her ass off to move away.
To be fair, in the way that the movie is structured, that's literally like the first 2/3 of the movie, though.
Yeah.
But it was just one of those things where I've noticed that I'm sure they also have the manic. Well, in a lot of these, everybody's the manic. Something or
Everybody
other.
is manic, so it's hard to just be like, here's the one manic pixie dream girl. The other one that shows up a lot in like American or Western media is also the Born Sexy Yesterday, which I definitely, off the top of my head, I can't think of one, but I'm sure that there's anime that also does that.
I mean, anyone with a robot robot that looks like a woman, I'm assuming.
Yeah. Gurren Lagann kind of does that a little bit. I guess to kind of an extent, even though it's not. I would say Wolfstrain kind of does it, but it's like Cheza is never the object of anybody's like affection in that sense. So that one doesn't really count, I don't think.
What about Ghost in the Shell?
Ghost in the Shell. I need to actually watch that. I feel really bad. Robert lent me. He has Standalone Complex, like all like on DVD, and he's like, "Oh, you should borrow this." And I was like, "Yeah, I'll totally watch this." And I have just not gotten around to it yet. I feel really awful.
Sorry, Robert.
Sorry, Robert. I will watch that and get those back to you eventually, and I'll also watch SLC Punk too because I know that. Yes, we've had this conversation.
If you want to know who we're talking about, go listen to our episode about A New Hope.
Yep.
Robert is on that episode. Also, you can go to our YouTube channel,
Watch
Moist Boys
Total
Podcast.
Recall.
Yeah, that's pretty fun.
Yeah.
Good times were had by all. Oh, the good old days when we liked talking about Star Wars.
Oh, God.
Nowadays, we're just like, please, for the love of God, stop putting out articles about Star Wars.
Yeah. No more Star Wars. But anyway, this movie. Fuck, I was gonna say there was something that. Oh, I liked I really liked the chase sequence. I guess when they're on the train, when he gets her on the train the first time, and like all the friends see them, and they're just standing there, and he's like freaking out in the window, and then he looks out the window again, and like the mom is in the car, like on the bridge, like waving at the train. I really liked that. And then them running. So that's the one where they run to the lighthouse, and then his best friend like pushes them off the top of the lighthouse.
Oof.
In a if I can't have her, nobody can, almost kind of unintentionally, but I feel like it's probably unintentional. So dick move on Dude Bro for not letting go of her hand when he got shoved off the lighthouse, I guess.
Yeah.
Seriously. Also, that kid was scared for life.
Yeah. Oh no, I just murdered my best friend and the girl I like. And you know he followed.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
It's a good thing that none of that came to pass.
Yep. Nope. Because he threw the if ball into the water.
So is the if in the ball, or is it is the lighthouse involved? Because the panes of glass are from the lighthouse that are
also the
around
ball,
the world.
The light in the lighthouse ends up looking like the ball in one of the timelines.
Yeah. I think the lighthouse becoming part of the overall universe is because the lighthouse was such a focal point to so many things. Because the lighthouse is where they're going.
Yeah.
And then the lighthouse is where they are a couple times, I think, when he throws it. Yeah, the lighthouse, because the first time it's when the fireworks are flat, and he's like, this isn't real, throw.
Yeah.
And then the second time they're falling off of the lighthouse, and he throws it again. So I think it's because that, going back to if this is all being created in his mind, that lighthouse is going to be such a key thing that he's going to be using it to create these new worlds. So it's why the world becomes more and more inside of the lighthouse and looking through the spirally windows. But I don't think it was all in his head.
No, I think they went inside the ball each time, or something.
Yeah.
Because even before he does his first if wish, he is like, here's some of the weird tinkling sounds, and gets like blinded by the sun when what's her name? Nazuna gets taken away.
I should have been reading it for that one. Whoops.
Can we also agree that the mom was kind of overreacting a little bit with she gets like hard, like she just like
she goes full on into like, I'm gonna drag your ass.
I thought she was gonna beat that child.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe she did. We'll never know.
Probably beat
Like-
that child.
Like every time they got her, they like abandoned her luggage and all of her clothes wherever she was. I was like, that's a little drastic.
I mean, who's to say what you would do in that situation where you know your child is running away and you get them, and at that point the most important thing in the world is getting them and making sure that they're safe and not whatever stupid bullshit they decided to drag with them.
Except for you're going to traumatize your child and ensure that they run away from you again because you just hauled their ass.
Oh yeah, no, I'm not saying that like mom was in the right or anything. I'm just saying like I'm just
I was like, oh, we need to talk about some parenting decisions.
No, I'm gonna haul him off out of that. Leave your fucking backpack, kid. We don't need it. We'll get you a new backpack. Shut the fuck up, 5-year-old.
I also am extremely interested in how mom kept finding her and how mom knew she was running away, quotations.
Yeah.
Because as far as mom could have known, she just went to go to the fireworks with friends.
I think it was.
Did she leave a note?
Maybe. And that's what we don't know. We don't know if she left a note.
Yeah.
We don't know if she stomped out the house right past them with that suitcase and they'd been tracking her. But they seem to find her fairly easily.
Yeah. I mean, like, it's probably just one of those things where she probably didn't tell them that she was going out. They probably saw that she had packed some things into her briefcase, and then it and her were both gone. And then at that point, you just go into full panic mode, and you're like, I have to find my kid right now. I have to figure out what's going on.
And going to the train station makes sense, but they were in the middle of like a weird intersection the first time they got found.
Yeah.
So. Well, if it really all was in his head, then that would make sense that they're able
constantly
to find
being
them.
Pursued. Because the idea that something is going to cause this to end.
But the first one wasn't supposed to be in his head. The first one was actually what happened.
No, the first one is actually where they found her.
Yeah. But that's like she's just wandering around town looking for the bus stop.
Yeah.
Also, if you're going to run away.
Yukata.
Yeah, I was going to say, first off, if you're going to run away, that is not the outfit you choose. Secondly, you don't go get a boy. Just run away.
But you liked him.
Cool. Yeah, she also, they kept using, and I don't know if this was a translation thing or what, she kept saying they were going to go elope.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is she
Because
dragging?
that's what her and her mom did. Her mom and her dad did.
They had an affair and ran away together, yes, but not at 15.
No.
So she was just trying to romanticize and repeat. Okay.
Yeah.
I was like, is she really trying to drag this 15-year-old boy off to go get married in Tokyo and then be a hostess club worker?
Yeah.
Sounds good to me.
I don't see a problem with it.
I do like that he assumes it means that they're going to both be dead at the end of it, though. He's like, I don't want to kill myself already. Quality joke.
No, that's double suicide. Isn't that
double suicide.
Isn't that what eloping is? Isn't that what get married is?
Isn't that what marriage is, boys?
Got him.
Got him.
We have a happy marriage, guys.
Yeah, we're fine. Don't worry. We're perfectly fine.
So fireworks are flat, though, right?
No. God damn it.
It was such an
So that was something that I thought was interesting, that the different versions of. Okay, we got to land on calling it either a timeline or a different universe.
Let's go. I'm going to go universe.
Okay.
Because
that feels more accurate, because it's.
By the end, they're like literally inside a big glass bubble with different
okay,
glass
so in the
bubbles.
alternate universes, when the first time he's talking to his friend, and his friend is like, you know, fireworks aren't actually flat, right? And then the second time he goes in there, and his friend is like, I'm going to explain to you why fireworks are flat, you dumb piece of shit. I was like, oh, okay, so there actually are changes to the universe as a whole.
Yeah.
And I think that is what kind of keys him into the fact that, like, oh, this can't be real, because the fireworks are not flat, even though in the real world he's like, oh, I guess I never really thought about it. Maybe they're really not, though. You sure about that?
So what about ones that explode in a direction? What are
Well, if there's explode direct, what they're talking about though are mortars.
Yeah.
Mortars explode in a giant ball of light.
Yeah.
And of course they explode in all directions.
So for those of you that are at home saying like, are fireworks flat? If that were the case, there would be like a 1 degree area where you could actually look at fireworks and enjoy them.
Yeah.
Otherwise you'd be looking at weird like lines in the sky. Because that's what a flat circle is, folks. It's a line.
Yep.
Which makes me think of an anecdote of like an object that was moving like through dimensionally instead of like through our dimension or whatever. Like if it's going through different dimensions and it passes through ours, it would you would see like a black dot that would slowly grow in size, and either it would become a circle or a big line in the sky, and then slowly shrink back down again. Because all we see is a very particular slice of universe and not the whole thing. So I definitely think they're in the ball because not only are they like inside of a glass thing, but also like just their vision starts to get glass ballish. Things start rippling. So that's why I think they're still in there.
It's only like certain objects too. Like the street signs were all normal, but like physical
Flowers.
objects had the distortion of being looked at through.
Like the buildings were normal.
Yeah.
Streets are normal.
Like his
Bikes
bike,
not so much.
the gas pump.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So theory.
Theory.
So piggybacking on Josh's, they're still in the ball. So when she's talking about what happened to her dad, she just says her dad disappears. I'm pretty sure they would know if he had died. I mean, bodies could be lost at sea and they don't find him,
right?
Whatever. But it doesn't seem like he was far away. What if dad was doing the what if ball and he got lost in the ball?
And then she found it later.
Because
if you didn't watch it, then you have no idea anything we're talking about. So sorry, this is confusing for you, but that's your own fault.
Watch it. Why are you here?
Why are you this far into
also,
this?
I did tell you to watch it, but at the beginning, she finds it's just like floating in the water.
Yeah,
and that's where they go back to at the end when they're going for one last hoop-de-hoo.
I'm pretty sure. I think there's a chance Josh is right, but if that's what happened with them, I'm pretty sure that's what happened with her dad, and that's how come he hit the ball in his hand when he died.
Yeah.
Does that mean that they're both just floating in the ocean right now?
So yeah, I was gonna say, does that mean they are mentally in the ball? Is it like a Matrix situation where they like their consciousness goes into the ball, but they are physically still in the real world?
Or I have no fucking idea. Rad theory.
I'm kind of sad that
it was Josh's theory. I was just piggybacking.
I know
that Normichi's parents aren't in it very much. Like they're at the beginning.
Yeah, they seem like they would be really like super cool and chill,
and then they just walk out of the movie.
Yeah, like I really liked their dynamic too.
Yeah.
But whatever movie, because you got a movie.
Also, curry for breakfast. Sorry, that's, as Normichi says, that's just a second diarrhea of the day waiting to happen.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
I mean, I'm gonna come out swinging right now. Not mad about it. Like fucking worth it.
I was gonna say, I like that he was like, "Why do you think I'm in here right now?" And then immediately proceeds to go and eat it.
Yeah, because curry is fucking delicious.
But was that curry fucking delicious?
I mean, he ate it, so
this is the first time I've
or is
seen.
he just a lazy ass teenager who's just gonna fucking eat whatever?
It's already there. I guess I may as well.
No.
15-year-olds are garbage disposals. They'll put fucking anything in their mouth.
Yeah. I was about to say that this is the first time I've seen anime food not wanting to eat it, but that egg looked pretty good though.
Yeah, it did.
Nice cracked egg over some rice.
Okay, let's talk about the real controversy of this movie. Where did Teacher's titties go?
Okay, right. So I definitely pointed that out, and everybody was like, "What?" I'm like, "Her boobs, they're gone."
They were gone.
They're just gone.
Yeah. And then her like boyfriend points it out and gets slapped up beside his dumb face.
So, but which timeline was that in?
That was in the
last one.
The last one.
So
bum bum bum.
So
again, if this is all in his head or he's reworking this, blah 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 blah.
He's the one who was never really into the teacher.
He was never into the teacher, so he doesn't imagine.
So he
her
doesn't
being
care
super because her hair looked a little different too. He didn't just imagine her being super hot like everybody else does.
Which is a goddamn shame.
You just wanted to see them titties in that outfit.
I mean, who doesn't?
I'm not gonna object. The other weird piece of animation that they use a few times is like the weird stairwell in the school that no one ever interacts with. It doesn't seem to go anywhere
because it was just a static 3D model. They were like, "Hey, we'll just have a panning shot of the stairway for no fucking reason."
Yeah, some of those worked, like the one that when it's like the grass and like the water sprinkler.
Yeah.
That like but that one just never worked because it looked
It
like
was establishing that we're inside the school, but you know what else establishes that we're inside the school?
Classroom.
The classroom, showing inside of the classroom where all of the characters are, usually establishes where you are.
Yeah.
Also, that building was really fucking cool looking. Can I have a school like that? Where all the classrooms have those big cool windows. It's a ball. It was a ball. Everything was about balls.
It's all about balls. Balls.
Balls
15-year-old
everywhere.
balls.
Oh, God, no. Don't get us on a watch list, please.
I didn't say those were great. I just said that that's what this movie's about.
Well, yeah.
Did, do.
If.
Yes. What do we think about the water coming out of the hose effect that they used? Was that weird?
It looked like shit.
Yeah.
The animated water looked fine.
The like hand-drawn water?
Yeah.
Yeah, that looked fine. All of the 3D stuff looked like trash. All of it.
The ball looked fine when it was in 3D.
All of it. I don't know. I can deal with. I feel like so. Again, knowing that this movie came out like in 2017, 3 years ago, the technology that is used for making anime and integrating 3D like that has come so far since this movie that I just think it's a problem with what they had to work with at the time. And so it just makes it seem like it was really lazy and shitty. But it was probably like bleeding edge stuff when it happened. But like now, having just seen Weathering with You that used 3D to like great effect in some scenes.
Yeah. This does seem more 2009 than 2017, though.
A little bit. And yeah, just like the character models, how what's the word I'm looking for? Inconsistent they would be sometimes was very much just like, this had a movie budget and y'all couldn't just fucking nail it on a movie budget.
Maybe it didn't.
Maybe it didn't.
One of the IMDb trivia pieces is that this movie was finished 12 days before it premiered in theaters.
Jesus
Oh my
Christ.
God.
That could be part of the reason why some of these things did the way they did.
Did a full-on Hideaki Anno on it in order to, like, it'll be done when it's done, you piece of shit. Throw in some fucking crayon drawings and real pictures of titties. Just throw flashes of that in there.
I mean, it worked for another beloved anime series that some liked more than others. So, you know. So I'm looking at the plot summary of the original 1995 film, and it doesn't mention anything about time travel or magical balls or if balls or anything like that. So I don't know.
So that's all of the stuff that was added.
I don't know.
Yeah.
It is available for rent for $2.99 on Prime.
So come back for the sequel to this.
Maybe. If we ever have $2.99 we feel like putting towards it.
I mean, as the person who
Pays bills.
well, I was gonna say, as the person who does not work in the household right now, yeah, I'll throw $2.99 at that.
What's the film this is based off of called?
Fireworks. Should we see it from the side or the bottom?
What?
That's the name of the movie. I'm assuming that's just like a literal translation.
Yeah. Okay, that makes sense. Okay, because I'm looking at like the Japanese name for this one and realizing it is like an entire fucking sentence.
Yeah.
Okay, you said a 1995 or a 1997?
Because I see 1997.
Okay, yeah, that's a totally different thing. I clicked on that first.
And you're like, nope, not it. Oh yeah, this is a hard R police crime movie, right? Whoops.
That's what we just watched.
That's what we just watched. I don't even see the 1995 one on here.
Really? It's the first one that pops up on mine.
Fireworks. Should we see it from the top or the bottom?
I have. There it is. It's literally the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, sixth one down on mine.
I think it's
This has
1,
been
2, 3,
We Read
4.
IMDb Results on the Moist Boys podcast.
Discussing why IMDb is trash via Moist Boys.
Clooney's, everybody? What's the Clooney situation?
Drop some Clooney's on this one.
We're dropping Clooney's left and right, folks.
Yeah. I'm not going to go first.
Uh,
Because I have a feeling I'm
Oh. I'm reading differences. I'm sorry. Continue.
there is does list differences somewhere?
With her parents divorcing, a young teenager, Nazuna, has more serious matters on her mind. Although unknown to others, Nazuna's mother intends to take her away after the summer break.
Yeah, we should probably watch this and figure out
What's going on? We're locking down the podcast till we can figure out what the hell's going on around here. Nobody comes in or out.
Yep.
There are 7
We're going
movies
full-
that we're not allowed. They aren't allowed on this podcast until we figure it out what's going
they
on.
give away like the whole fucking thing in this. It's
Really?
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, it's probably a user review or user synopsis, probably then.
Yeah.
props.
I'm going to give it 6. It's fine. There's some stuff I did like, stuff I didn't. It was enjoyable. It was wholesome. It was fun.
It was a
The
movie.
main character does that weird thing where you go from a realistic face structure to like the weird square, flat 2D face.
Oh, he does
When
an
he-
anime face.
Yeah.
Like I don't mind shocked anime face at all.
It was almost released exactly 12 years. August 12th and August 18th.
Interesting.
12 years apart. 12?
So yeah, I'm
Oh,
going.
God. 22? 22
Yep.
years.
Yeah.
Oh, God, I can do math. Oh,
Math.
22 years apart.
Did the math. It checks out.
It didn't actually the first time. I had to redo the math.
Had to redo the math. Now it checks out.
Now it checks out.
Heather, Clooney's?
Clooney's.
Oh, you didn't give Clooney's.
I haven't yet,
Clooney's in the
I
morning.
always go last.
no. Okay, that's fair. Yeah, I'm also gonna I'm gonna go 5.
Ooh, coming in hot.
Not really. It's just it was almost a 6, but I don't think I connected with this movie as much as this movie wanted me to, and too many things pulled me out of it. So it's a 5 for me. Heather?
Yellow.
5.5.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Somewhere in the middle.
Somewhere in the middle. Because I agree with you both. Like, it was wholesome-y, but it also had a lot of jarring things that took me out of it. I am going to say something super blasphemous, and you guys are just going to have to sit there and stare at me and my wrongness, and it's fine. I am a dub over sub.
It's fine. I for the most part I am too.
And so
Unless I start watching a dub and the voice actors are complete trash,
yeah.
then I will.
Which
go sub.
was part of my issue actually with this, is that while the voice actors were fine, they all sounded way too old for the 15-year-olds that they were playing.
That's what I was gonna ask.
Yeah, I need to know how old some of these voice actors were, because they all sounded way too old to be playing the ages they were, and so
They all sounded like 25-year-olds.
Yeah.
My issue was that
And that
literally
took me out
all
of it.
5 of the like main guys
sounded alike.
sounded alike, except for Smart Friend. Smart Friend and Short Friend had different voices.
Yeah.
The rest of them had the same voice.
Yeah. So I it's not that
I don't mean that to be like I
I know.
don't mean that
You're
to
fine.
be like
Breathe. How old are they?
The guy that played Junichi was born in 1976.
Holy God.
Noramichi 93.
Mm-hmm.
Yusuke 83. Nazuna doesn't have one. Kazuhiro 84. And Minoru 85.
Yeah, so that took me out of it a lot. It irritates me, and I feel like when they do dubs, they tend to pick voice actors who
that have a higher register
that have higher registers.
for teenagers.
They're just a little closer to what teenagers should sound.
Because every time Noramichi talked, I was like, who is that supposed to be talking?
Yeah.
Like, you don't believe this, do you? It's like, who is
What do
that?
you mean? Hey, are you telling me fireworks aren't flat? What are you saying?
Yeah, so that took me out of it, as well as some of the lesser animation and the fucking musical number I had to sit through twice. But it was wholesome. I mean, I did not want to watch it, which I could have. So here's the other thing is that we watch these things specifically to podcast, and sometimes we watch crappy things, and I want to be able to not have to stare at the TV, but when you're trying to read the sub the whole time, you have to stare at it and watch it. It's not always my favorite.
Especially if it's something you're just not really feeling.
Yeah.
You're like, I have to fucking read this movie.
Yeah. So it was all right. It got a 5.5 because, I mean, it wasn't the worst thing I've ever watched. I've watched Picard, so that's the thing.
Heyo.
Go over to Historic Materials to hear how we really feel about Picard.
Yeah. So here's would you rather sit through this movie again or The Phantom Menace?
Ooh.
This movie, because it's about 40 minutes shorter.
Ooh.
That's
yeah, but there's no
fair.
cool pod racing.
There's also no lightsabers.
Mm-hmm.
There's no I bring this up every time, but there's no Duel of the Fates.
Which Duel of Fates is great. And also Darth Maul is a pretty badass villain.
Yeah.
Fireworks does have better Asian character representation.
Yes, it does.
Really? Wow. Okay.
So yeah, that's all of our feels, I feel like, on.
Yeah, I kind of feel like we stretched this as far as it could go.
Just like this movie did with 45 minutes worth of material it had.
Yeah. It's just real middle of the road.
Yeah.
Nothing great about it.
Yeah.
Nothing
I've seen better
about
anime movies that I would rather sit through a sub than this, and I have seen. No, I haven't seen worse, really. So.
I mean, we did sit through Vampire Hunter D.
Ooh.
Actually, we did not sit through that. We stopped at about 15 minutes in.
We did. And also, that's not a movie.
No, the movie. We watched the movie.
Oh my God, were we trying to watch the movie?
Yeah.
That was terrible.
It was not good. It was also made in like the 80s, so.
It was not good.
Yikes.
Yeah.
All right, folks, before we say goodbye for this episode, we just want to take a moment to talk about a little series. We've mentioned this before, I think.
Have we?
Maybe.
Yeah.
I know we've definitely talked about it. Not on the podcast. I don't know if we've talked about it on the podcast.
There's a little series. Oh, there's an app that we are not being sponsored by called Midnight Pulp, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, it is. Look forward to so much content from this, by the way.
Yeah, it's there's a ton of free stuff. I know we talked about it in the last episode because I remember saying that there's some free stuff on there.
Right. Yeah.
Some of it looks good, some of it doesn't. Today we're gonna.
Some of it looks like Chargeman Ken.
Today we're talking about Chargeman Ken, episode 1. It's the inaugural kickoff of our dropping these reviews on the end of episodes because the episodes are literally 7 minutes long. A minute and a half of that are credits and theme song.
Yep.
The Bombus theme song.
It's a pretty good theme song.
It slaps.
Hopefully there's no copyright strike because, folks, you're about to get a little bit of content.
If it wasn't completely obvious from just listening to this show came out in 1974.
And it looks like it came out in 1974.
It really does.
If you've seen
Speed Racer,
Johnny Quest,
Astro
Boy, you've seen what this show kind of looks like.
The Jetsons.
It's very like Hanna-Barbera-ish.
Yeah, it is.
All the backgrounds, especially like
All three backgrounds that they use.
yeah, the character animations are like obviously anime, but like all of the backgrounds.
Some Space Ghost in there.
Yeah, for sure. This show's a wild ride.
So yeah, like I mentioned, or at least the first episode, 7 minutes. I think I've looked at a couple, and they are,
As far as I can tell, all 65-ish episodes are 7 minutes long.
this one's called Danger, Kids Space.
Danger, the children's space station.
Yeah.
Is that what the episode is called? I thought that was the warning sign on the like sign outside the space station. That's actually what this episode is.
That's what the episode was called.
Oof, duh.
So the plot of this, there's a bad guy who has a race of things, robots, aliens.
They are aliens. They
Aliens.
are
He calls-
ineffectual aliens, as this would refer to them
Like,
as.
he calls them men, and then they.
Yeah,
all look
now that I
like-
control you. Now? What do you mean now? This is literally the first time we've seen you.
This is all we know.
This is this is everything I've ever known.
So yeah, there's a Chargeman Ken later on calls them Duralians. So I guess they're a race.
Aliens. I know. I was like,
Duralians.
so he knows what they are.
So okay, so Heather and I just had to watch this on my phone, and I was kind of like holding the phone sideways so we could both see it. I don't know what he said after Duralians because I stared at that word for so long, being like, "What the fuck does that say?"
The thing I like about the theme song, though, is that it has both the English dub or the English subtitles and the phonetically spelled Japanese.
Hell yeah!
So that's kind of cool.
I'm always a fan of that. Whenever what I really like in anime is when the opening will have where it alternates, where one time you'll get the translation and then the other time you will get the phonetic.
Yeah.
And to be like, ooh, if I ever want to learn how to sing along to this song, I'm just gonna make sure I watch these episodes and really, really nail down.
Go to the karaoke bar and be like, I know this theme song. Do you have that on your?
I'll be like, get the fuck out of my bar.
So yeah, Chargeman.
Just want to sing the theme song to My Hero Academia. Don't judge me.
Do you have the Chargeman Ken theme song by any chance?
And a group of small children to sing it with me. Sir, you need to leave right now.
No, I'll supply the children. I just need the song. So Chargeman Ken and his sister Karen, or Caron,
Karen.
go to
They try to go to the fair.
from their
With the
running
ro-
away from their parents who are just like waving from a window somewhere.
You go ahead and you fly your space car off to the fair.
They laugh at them at
7-year-olds.
some point. Oh, because the BB-8-esque robot from Meet the Robinsons comes running out and falls on his
He
face.
keeps falling down.
Yeah.
So you would not know that if you had looked away for a brief moment because there is zero. Well, no, we've established there is 5 sound design in this show.
4 of them come towards the end of the episode.
Yeah.
4 of them happen in the same 30 seconds.
Yeah. Which, to be fair, is a big chunk of this episode.
It really
A lot
is.
happens in that 30 seconds.
Yeah. So they go to the fair. We get to see 2 pieces of animation get repeated for several seconds back to back.
The same person spinning on the octopus spinny thing real fast.
Yeah.
So they just live on a planet of clones, right? Because every kid on the rides, regardless of the ride, was the same kid.
I think there were 2. There was a boy and a girl,
Okay, so it's just Ken and Karen again,
I guess.
most likely.
Maybe we'll find out in a later episode.
Ooh, they are clones.
Who knows? All I know,
Let's speculate wildly.
all I know about later episodes is that they can't eat vegetable salad. I can't remember.
Salad.
I can't remember which episode number that is, so keep an eye out for that
Oh, I
episode.
will. We're watching that shit.
What's 7? So what's that? 300 minutes, give or take,
Something like that.
which is that's still a lot of content
That's
for a series.
lot. Yeah, that's
If they just like mashed a couple of these together, it would be like a real show.
almost.
But fortunately for you and us, we only have to watch them in 7-minute chunks. Again, what,
So that
20%
way-
of that is just the credits and the theme song.
Like so, and also that way, if you like Heather get about 4 minutes into it, you can just nope out. Be like, I'm done. I can't do it.
Tried really hard.
You did. You really did.
I actually watched all the first 7 minutes of it.
You did. Yeah.
Yeah.
You just had to lay down.
I did. My back hurt.
Like, I need to put minimum effort into this.
Just like the animators and the sound designers and the writers.
That is how it should be enjoyed.
Apparently, this show was being made and then it was like abandoned most of the way, like when they were almost done, and then they just released it.
They made how many episodes and then that was just being done?
Yep. That checks out. Like, were they just going to drop it all as one giant chunk and they were like, and I quit?
Yeah.
Fuck you. Find somebody else to do your sound effects. I don't give a shit.
I do like how most of the animation is just turning the cells in front of the camera. Like Chargeman Ken does a barrel roll where they just have him in a pose and they just spin his plate around a couple of times and he does a
like
freeze frame.
5 times and he freeze frames into like Superman pose with the laser gun in his hand all of a sudden.
Yeah, he shoots laser gun, which again doesn't make any sound. Nope. There's explosion buildings are blowing up and falling over without any sound. Which
the only reason you know one of the guys gets hit by something is because without any sound effect, he just goes. Ugh.
Which leads me to believe there was going to be sound effects, and they ran out of time because like the actors responded to it, and it was even more distracting if it had been completely silent.
Yeah,
by having a bunch of characters go or kids go
yeah,
and then like there was supposed to be a something here to replace it. He shoots a couple of the aliens. The main bad guy, whose name I don't know.
He was just another alien, though.
Yeah,
like it wasn't even the main bad guy in the big like ship abducting the kids. Also, Jesus Christ, I just realized we don't see him rescue the kids. We just see him blow up the ship that the kids are on now.
We didn't see him go into the ship.
That's fair.
We saw one of them. We saw one of the aliens grab 2 of the kids.
Yeah.
And then get shot.
And we don't know what happened to any of those kids. At no point are they like, we saved the day. The children are safe. They're just like, fucking aliens are gone. Let's go to the fair.
Yeah.
Oof.
Chargeman Ken fly. Again, they play the entirety of the theme song over the action sequence.
Hell yes. That's all the best anime do.
Essentially, he just flies his ship around it a couple of times. Does he have a laser on his ship that he shoots, or does it just blow up on its own?
No, he has a laser that he shoots.
Okay.
And it causes the computer to overload and explode.
That's right.
Because
which are 3 of the sound effects in the show is
his laser, the computer, the ship blowing up, and then the ship crashing to the ground is the 4th one.
Yeah, which this is the best explosion ever because it's literally just a camera zooming in and out of a still shot of a fireball, which was pretty cool.
It's fucking rad. Suck on that, George Lucas.
Yeah, Chargeman Ken is a little bit of a bully to his sister, which I guess is kind of cool. he bullies her and like threatens to make the ship spin around in a way she doesn't like.
And then she beats him up.
Yeah, but to be fair, they both enjoy that the little robot round ball friend guy that they have hates it even more than she does.
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
That's hilarious.
And then they fly around and then the credits start rolling.
They never go to the fair. Rad.
Yeah.
So that's Chargeman Ken.
Clooney's on the Chargeman Ken episode. I'm going to say I'm giving it 9 Clooney's, folks. It's everything I wanted and more.
Everything I wanted. God.
I can't think of any way you could improve this. I think adding sound effects would only
deter from its terribleness.
Yeah.
My favorite thing on the descriptor of it is the best joke of all about this show is that none of it was a joke. And that is all you really need to know going into this.
Is that actually like the log line from
It's on the IMDb page when you go into the description of it. And that just makes my heart happy.
Yeah. So I'm excited about watching some more of these.
Oh, hell yeah. This is gonna be fucking rad. Heather is just shaking her head no. Fuck. You know what? Just because the theme song slaps and they used it twice. This gets a 15.
Oh,
15 out of 10.
Heather?
4. It's a 4.
The only one of us taking this seriously, I guess.
I take this very seriously. Thank you all for listening to the Moist Boys podcast. Please keep an ear out for more future content. We are officially halfway through Animarch, folks. I can't believe it's already happened.
Looks like we made it. Not yet.
We've got 2 more films left to do, A Silent Voice and Millennium Actress. We're also going to try to get some Patreon content up. We should be watching a Miyazaki, The Castle of Cagliostro. That'll be exciting.
Heather does Superman arms.
Miyazaki is always something to look forward to. It's on Netflix for those of you that want to watch along. So we know you have Netflix, and if not, can you even really be considered alive?
Yeah. Get Netflix, you dumb piece of shit. Or steal somebody else. Don't steal it. But
stealing is wrong.
Stealing is wrong.
Sharing passwords is stealing.
Yeah, you wouldn't download a car.
Ding, 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 ding. Head on over to our Instagram, instagram.com/moistboyspodcast, as well as @moistboyspod on Twitter. And if we sign up for Patreon, we've got a feet pics level. Get feet pics on your timeline. And
I just want them held.
Okay.
Folks, things are falling apart here. So I'm gonna
Things are going
say
sideways real quick.
thank you for listening, and we'll be back next week with one of those films that I mentioned, as well as more on our Patreon. Don't forget to check out His Dark Materials. We're talking about Picard. Maybe another show coming up in the next couple of weeks. Keep on keeping on, folks.
Hopefully a good show soon.
Hopefully a good show. Thank you for listening, and we'll see you next time.